Hello, everyone. My guest today is Reena Gupta. She's a serial entrepreneur and philanthropist. Interestingly, dove into entrepreneurship when most women take a career break after her first child was born. She's now doing that via a tool called Mom Relaunch, which we'll jump into. She also began with a staffing company called Avankia, then moved on to a company called TargetRecruit, the most innovative talent management platform built on the Salesforce platform that modernizes the recruiting cycle at organizations from front to back office. All right, Reena, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yes, I am ready. Thanks a lot, Nathan.
All right. So where are you spending more of your time, Mom Relaunch or TargetRecruit?
Currently, I'm spending sort of equal time in both the companies. When I started Mom Relaunch, I thought it will take its own time to grow, but the way we are getting the support and initiatives, it has kicked off at a very fast pace, and I'm still trying to juggle the time between the two companies.
So what are the business models on each of them? Is Mom Relaunch just information, a membership site, and what's TargetRecruit?
So let me give you a little background of how it all comes together, so you will understand why, and how I'm doing this.
We'll do that. I want to do that first, but I want to get into that. But first, just tell us the current business model, and then work backwards and tell us the story.
Absolutely. So TargetRecruit is a subscription-based applicant tracking system and vendor management system, which is based on Salesforce.com. And the business model is we have a per user license cost as well as some services.
And what about Mom Relaunch?
Okay, so Mom Relaunch business model is to do the placement and consulting projects by utilizing the talent pool that we train on our launchpad. That's the business model. Plus, we have a lot more things to offer in terms of Mom Relaunch. But just focusing on the business model, that's what we are.
Okay, so Mom Relaunch, in a way, you're kind of you're training moms and then maybe the moms go use TargetRecruit to find their next job.
TargetRecruit will be the system that we run Mom Relaunch on, just from the technology point of view. But think of Mom Relaunch as a services company that goes to clients and say, do you need, and our focus is only on IT and HR for now.
Okay.
So do you need Salesforce developer? Do you need a Java developer? Do you need a business analyst? We provide them, and they can hire full-time, part-time. They can give us the whole project to work on. They can give us and hire them as a consulting, just on a contract basis.
And is TargetRecruit your baby? You're the founder, or you joined later on?
No, it's my baby.
It's your second baby, right? You have one real baby and then TargetRecruit, right?
I have two real babies.
Two real babies.
And 4 companies.
Okay, so TargetRecruit, when did you launch the company? Give us more of the backstory here.
Sure. So TargetRecruit was officially launched on AppExchange, which is the Salesforce.com marketplace. And we launched TargetRecruit in 2008.
Okay. A heck of a year to launch a company. Where were you personally at that time?
Personally, I was still running my other company, which is called Avankia. And Avankia, I started as an IT consulting. I was an independent consultant, and then I turned into an IT staffing. Then in one of the projects, I came across Salesforce.com, immediately fell in love with the platform, decided to specialize in it. So we started providing as a niche consulting partner for Salesforce.com.
And since then, have you bootstrapped TargetRecruit, or have you decided to raise?
No, all my companies are bootstrapped.
She's in California and she's bootstrapped, folks. Let's celebrate. This is amazing. All right, good. So you're totally bootstrapped. I love that. And give us a sense real quick of kind of team size and where you see the product going over the next year. So
about TargetRecruit, it's about 50 to 55 people on and off in that size. We have people in, I would say, multiple countries now. We have some developers in Belarus. We have our sales marketing developers in India. We have people in US, some all across. Whenever and wherever we find talent, we hire them.
That's a good answer. And can you give us just a quick story about a customer that's paying TargetRecruit and specifically how they're using it besides Mom Relaunch?
Yeah, absolutely. So TargetRecruit is started primarily with, my background was in staffing company. I understand that industry well. So we built a software. The philosophy was a CRM-based applicant tracking system. That was a pretty innovative thing in 2008. And with Salesforce platform of flexibility and customization, integration, it was one of the best time for us to launch the product. So we went into the market with focus on staffing industries and just focus on we call it in the industry as the front office solution. And then we started adding the back office and timesheet, accounting, scheduling. We specialized in healthcare. We specialized and just recently released a workforce management version of TargetRecruit. So we started with staffing industry. So small, medium, large staffing industries are our clients.
And Renee, what are those clients, if you don't mind me asking real quick, what are these clients on average? I mean, give me a general sense of size of what they're paying per month. Are we talking $10 a month or 10 grand a month or more?
No, our TargetRecruit is per user license about $99 per user per month.
Okay. And the average logo that signs up has how many users?
I would say between 25 to 75 is a mid-size. If it is a small company, it's about 5 to 10 licenses.
Okay. So,
and
so I was going to say 20 people at $99 a month. So the average customer maybe pays you $2,000 a month. Is that fair?
For the smaller size. If it is mid-size, then it is 75 an average.
Okay.
75 users an average. So depend on the client size.
Okay. But what I'm trying to do is get a sense of your average customer. Is about 20 people. I mean, is that a good average or no?
I would say more like 30, 35 is a good number.
Fair enough.
Just trying to. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good. And the 99, that's per month, not per year, right?
Yeah, per month, per user.
Okay, good. Okay, so again, can you tell us a company right now that's using TargetRecruit?
Yeah, do you need the customer names?
Yeah. Is there, just share a customer name that you're comfortable sharing or that's given you approval to share it. I want to hear an actual story, not just kind of marketing.
Yeah. So I would say I always like to use this customer because we grew with this customer, and this is our MedPro Staffing. This is
MedPro Staffing?
MedPro Staffing. They are in Florida. One of our, I would say, the customer who really knows how to work with a company as a vendor, as a partner. And in fact, I always go back and say that we are in healthcare because of MedPro Staffing. They helped us build products that are specifically for healthcare industry. They helped us even architect we were working with. So a customer like that is the reason why companies like us survive. So I love to talk about them at any time.
They've been with you back since 2008, huh?
Almost that time. I would say 2010, but it's one of my favorite stories to talk about. It's like every customer you can go and learn from them, but there are very few customers that understand how it makes to work like a partner.
And what have you scaled to today in terms of total customers paying you?
I would say close to about 300.
Okay.
Is the right number. And then, of course, that goes up and down. And we started to carve out our expertise also in scaling to larger clients and not only the SMB clients.
Sure. Yeah. If I do the math on that, 300 customers, if each of those logos on average have 30 seats a pop paying $99 a month, that puts you at like 890 grand a month in revenue. Is that generally accurate?
I would say it's an average. So let's keep it like a number that fluctuates up and down because there's some customers we pay significantly low for getting the license, and then there's some services and all those things. But it's on a ballpark. I would say it's pretty close if you look into those. If we had charged full price to all of them.
Yeah, but you hadn't. So I want to make sure I get an accurate representation of kind of where you get credit here. So is it way south of 800 grand a month? Are you like 200 grand a month or way north or what? Just give me a big range.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that, but I would prefer, I think it's not around $800 a month. I would say close to 4 or 5 is much more.
Okay, good. So closer to 400 or $500 a month. And the reasoning behind that, which is totally reasonable, is maybe early customers or on bulk deals, you give more discounted prices under $99 a month.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And what are you growing at? By the way, I asked this question because people always assume bootstrap companies are flat to declining. They can never grow year over year. What are you growing at year over year?
I would say it's more about 30-35%.
Renee, that's beautiful for a bootstrap company.
Yeah. I always go back and say it's bootstrap, but we try to run it as a company, like in a more like a startup mode. So every time we are like looking and chasing where to cut the expenses, where to cut generate the revenue and all those things.
Yeah.
So,
well, look at a 30% growth rate. That means back into about 12 months ago or 13 months ago in December of 2016, you were probably, somewhere around 300 grand a month in revenue. Now you're up around 405. So, that's obviously a really healthy growth rate. How are you internally thinking about growing the team and hiring? Are you scaling sales right now or marketing or engineering?
Well, I always proud to say that our product is pretty good. Not that because it's my baby, but I always take pride in seeing that how much we have been able to develop around the product with the limited resources that we have. One thing we have not done very well is the sales and marketing. So we always try to learn from companies who are doing and things. And
so to say, you're on the Salesforce App Exchange. You better understand sales and marketing.
I understand sales and marketing. Is just some of the things that we have not executed properly in terms of hiring the team. Sometimes it's always a balance between what you're trying to spend your money, grow the product or sell it. Salesforce App Exchange is an amazing world. I call it as it spoils entrepreneurs like us because they send us so many leads, inbound leads to us, and they literally say, here's the customer, work with them, right?
Hey, it makes them most sticky on the Salesforce platform. So I get it. How many people currently on your 50-person team are dedicated to sales or onboarding?
I would say I have a very small sales team. And that too, we have been doing a lot of sales from offshore in India that can take only to a certain limit. We have tried hiring some teams.
How many folks though currently are only sales?
On sales, we have 4.
Okay, 4. Okay, good. That's fairly small compared to the 50 total. So what mostly are engineering and support?
Implementation, which means that we have to say over 50% is an implementation.
Okay. All right.
Because what happens is when you onboard the client, that's the easiest part, but making sure that they are successful, they're getting what they are getting is the most important thing to do.
Tell me about churn.
Well, interestingly, churn in the SMB is not something to be very proud of because there are a lot of companies, they come and go, and that hits the churn for our company as well. I would say in the mid to large, we are close to over 80% in attrition or retention, basically.
Yep, that's annually.
Yeah, and on the smaller, I would say we are close to 50, 60. I mean, again, there are certain clients, I don't know if it's the right statement to make, but there are certain clients we definitely don't want to work with because of the things that they want everything, they don't want to pay and all those things. So there are certain clients on the SMB size we decide to let go, and there are certain clients that we never want to let go.
Yeah. So, now, if you run the math on the 80% annual retention, so that's 20% churn or about 1.6% churn per month. I mean, you would assume then that on average, a customer would stay with you for, call it 50, 60 months or be worth about 150 to 200 grand to you. Is that generally correct in terms of how you think about lifetime value?
Well, I don't know how to answer that question because I've not thought it from that point of view, but we just look into how many years a customer is with us, how many months and all. And I'll be very honest, we have not calculated the metric called lifetime value of the customer.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to because you're bootstrapped. You can do your own thing, right? That's the beauty of it. Let me ask you a different question. You have a sales team. I imagine you spend something on sales and marketing. How quickly do you like to get your money back? So in other words, what's your CAC and how quickly do you get that money back?
Well, if you ask like to immediately, but does it happen immediately? No. But
what are you at today, though?
I think, as I told you, that our marketing and things is very, I call it very reactive because of the way we grew in App Exchange. So we are very thin on budget on marketing and sales. There are very few specific events that we do.
So, I mean, do you think you get your CAC back then definitely in under 3 months?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, it depends on where we have invested. So if you go to a trade show and you have 15 such opportunities of closing business, some of them may close in 3 months, some may close in 12 months, or maybe never close it. So it's a pretty typical way of the ROI. What I look for it is, first thing is, did I cover my expenses for this event or something that we have done?
Well, yeah, but Renee, just because what I'm looking at is not like sales cycle or do you cover your expenses? It's how long does it take you once the customer starts paying to cover the expenses associated with getting that customer? So I'm just trying to figure out if they're paying you $3,000 per month on average, did you spend $30,000 to acquire them so you have a 10-month payback period?
Wow, customer by customer, we have not done those kind of analysis. But the way we look at it, marketing cost is if I have spent $20,000 in a certain marketing event, how many customers we got from that marketing event, and did it cover 20 grand or did it give us 100 grand?
Yeah.
That's how we look at it. So I would say that cycle varies a lot depending. If you go to Dreamforce, you can get that return very quickly.
So what did you spend over the past 12 months just on anything paid? Conferences, marketing, Facebook ads, Google ads, things like that, just out of curiosity.
I think if you look into it, one of our biggest expenses Salesforce event. And
which costs what?
It's pretty hefty. I'm close to 50K just for one event. So it's very expensive.
Very good. Hey, let's wrap up here real quick. So you're sitting on a company doing 400 or 500 grand per month in revenue. It's a healthy company. It's growing. Why take the time? Why get distracted? Why go launch Mom Relaunch?
Why do good? So as first of all, I say entrepreneurs have some kind of bug in them that they can't keep quiet. But beyond that, it's my passion. I think if you look into it, the time I started my company was when my child was born. I needed to do something, but it was not easy to think about what to do to keep your family as well as do something that you're of interest to you. Mom Relaunch kind of been in my mind since I started my own company. My first employee was a stay-at-home mom who I trained her to do some of my job and then brought her back into my business to help, and then started consulting. So that model of bringing a mom who is talented enough, training her to do the skill with the skills, both soft and hard skills, it is the right way to work and get them into the workforce. Now, all I have been doing in my companies, and we call it like there are a lot of women in my company who are like in a high position, some management positions, and they're all rock star moms is what I call them. And all they need is a little bit more flexibility in terms of how they can work. Their productivity is pretty high, and that all this thing has been being proven over and over again in my company. And I just wanted to expand this model so other companies can take benefit of it.
Well, very good. I'm not even a mom and I'm sold. So Renee, look, we're out of time. I want to wrap up here quickly with the famous 5. Okay, 1-word answers here. First thing, what's the last business book that you read?
So I'm reading this book called When. I don't know if it is...
Who's the author?
It's Daniel Pink.
Very good. When by Daniel Pink is a good one. Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
Well, I like Melinda Gates a lot.
She's great, doing a lot of good. Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building a business besides your own?
Salesforce.com and Quickbooks.
Salesforce, very good. Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
That's a good question. I average about 5 hours a night.
That's pretty good. And situation, obviously, we know you have a kiddo, or a married, single, or you have kids, more than 2, or just 2?
Just 2 kids, married.
Okay, good. And how, do you mind me asking how old you are?
I'm in my 40s. Don't ask me the next number.
She's 40 years old. All right, last question, Renee. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
What I wish myself 20-year know is, I think, time management.
Guys,
time management is the key.
There you have it from Renee. Time management is the key, which makes sense. She's running like 4 companies. Unbelievable. Bootstrapped in California. She's also a mom of 2. Launched TargetRecruit, which is her SaaS company, back in 2008 when she, again, birthed her first child. The company is now doing really, really well, helping mostly sales and HR tech folks especially recruit moms. She's now serving 300 customers, doing about 400, 500 grand a month in revenue, growing 30% year over year, totally bootstrapped with her team of 50 between California and India. Also joined and launched Mom Relaunch, just on top of that platform to help moms get educated and get great jobs. Renee, thank you so much for taking us to the top.
Thank you.